Sportskeeda, Indianapolis. It's a lot of wrestling. You're gonna be jealous because you don't live. Sportskeeda Wrestling. Hey, everybody. It's Monday. It's Rings and Rambles. I have overblown light on me in a radio studio where you think I would be lit really well. I'm inside NBC studio right next to Q101. No, more importantly, across the river over on the other side of the Mississippi. Joe Lowry. What a day, Joe Lowry. How are you?
What a day, Kevin. Thanks for having us. It's Monday.
Thank you.
It must be Monday, so big news day coming out again, as we know.
Yeah, a lot of people joining us in the chat already. I apologize for the delay here. I had to change studios. Usually I'd be broadcasting from home, but I'm on air for Q101 today, and I had to double duty everything here, and there was free pizza. So it was very important that I come to free deep dish. So you get free deep dish. I gained 5 pounds. Nice. And we're a little bit late on the show. We roll with it. A lot to get to today. A lot of big news to cover today.
There's a lot of stuff going on. Again, a lot of stuff going on again. Unbelievable.
A lot of positive WWE news, it feels like, Joe.
It's all good. It's all good.
I went to SmackDown on Friday.
Did you watch it?
Yeah, I was there. I was at the show. I was in Chicago.
Yeah, Chicago. Chi-town, that's right. How was the crowd? They were
packed. 14,000. Legitimate sellout.
Sound like 6,000. CM Punk came out, I'm sure.
Oh, yeah. It was. I was stuck on the train 10 minutes in the arena when that happened. I got there at 20 minutes when the show started. Yeah, I missed that.
You were on the L? Were you on the L?
I was on the L. I was on the L train right at Rosemont as the show started. So I missed the first 20 minutes of the show. I was like a dork. Thank you very much, CTA, for all of the delays. But we'll get to all of that. Other things on SmackDown. What's going on with Raw? It's a very heavy WWE show this week because we have a huge name that just debuted, Jacob Fatu. Some big news coming from WWE in terms of announcements with Royal Rumble, WrestleMania, and SummerSlam that you may have heard about that really give you an idea of how much WWE is a very different business than it was even 5 or 6 years ago. We'll talk about that in a little bit, especially with everything going on there. But let's get to the news at hand, the way that SmackDown ended. This is a hell of an ending, hell of a way to make a debut. Jacob Fatu debuts, saving Solo Sikoa from the onslaught of Cody Rhodes and Kevin Owens and Randy Orton. He wrecks everybody and smashes Cody Rhodes through a table, legitimately breaking some ribs.
What's up with that? Breaking ribs?
Yeah, and that was the news coming out of the weekend. Cody said he's now working with broken ribs, which is crazy. And so this is a wild one for everyone involved here, but certainly a very, very big debut. This is one that was anticipated because it was reported that he signed around WrestleMania season. And now here, just, less than a few months later, less than 2-3 months later, he's on the main roster on the biggest wrestling show on television with the biggest name in the business, destroying him in his debut. It's one of the more impactful debuts I've seen WWE do. I think some of this was kind of telegraphed once I saw Solo go into the corner when I was live. I was like, all right, this is where they do. I don't say that in a bad way, but what did you think of it? It was a wild, wild scene in Chicago. People lost their minds, and there were a lot of hardcore fans in Chicago that knew it. A lot of casual fans are like, who is that guy? And they're asking it in the right way.
Yep. I was shocked. I didn't think it was going to come on a SmackDown, to be honest with you. I thought it was going to come during a PLE or whatever that. But to see that, to cap off one of the wildest SmackDowns I've seen in history, I mean, outside of The Rock coming back during WrestleMania season, this SmackDown, that 2 hours flew right by. I can only imagine being there, but you did miss the big entrance with CM Punk and all that stuff. But
I did.
You were there to see the bloody aftermath.
Yes, I got to see him get his ass kicked.
Yeah. Rest in peace, CM Punk. I put that video to Taps music and did a short on it, and thousands of people are laughing at it. But nonetheless, Jacob Fatu, if you don't know who he is, you know who he is now. That is for damn sure. This guy is instant sensation overnight. The one guy I do feel bad for, and I hate to backtrack to NXT, but I believe in Joe Hendry. He had a hell of a debut. But now you got Jacob Fatu, the what do they call him? The Samoan werewolf. This guy's nuts.
Samoan werewolf, yes, and that was noted on commentary. I'm told, yeah,
he's off the wall, and to go ahead and do that splash. I mean, you talk about making an impact, and of course, Cody Rhodes divulging over the weekend at a house show that he did break a couple of ribs and so forth. But what a night! What a night for SmackDown. I mean, if you go back to last Monday night and 3 hours of chaos on Raw, obviously culminating with Uncle Howdy and Wyatt 6. The Joe Hendry debut on Tuesday, and then all of a sudden the chaos that ensued on Friday's SmackDown. It was one hell of a week for the WWE. And this is usually their downtime where they're, pushing obscure storylines and all that stuff. This is off the wall.
Yeah, most things they hold off that feel, I wouldn't say less than, but it feels like this, you get the definitely sense of, all right, we're going to start some brand new stuff. But coming out of WrestleMania, They did some subversive things. They gave you some of the Wyatt 6 stuff, which is, I will say, I thought there would be universal praise for it. They're the vocal minority on this thing that are against it, are very against it. And then there's, just the idea of the whole launching the group without Bray and just how it was done, and it's too over the top and it's too much supernatural stuff. I've heard that, but the numbers are there. The numbers don't lie. People have reacted to this to have a not sense that this is not connecting with a lot of casuals. I'll say that. Right. When I read it on SmackDown, everyone was asking, when are the Wyatts going to come out? When are the Wyatts going to come out?
They waited all night for it.
I don't think they left disappointed because it wasn't advertised. You know? So, I mean, that's the mystery of this group, is you don't really have to advertise them, but people can kind of expect them or want to predict them. And then you play off the hardcore fans then to get to that base.
I think the legacy of Bray Wyatt lives on with this faction. I think it's unbelievable. It's a hell of a tribute. Mm-hmm. Now we have rumors circulating that the 6th Wyatt member, most likely will be Alexa Bliss at some point, but they're talking about the lantern and the tribute to Bray. That might be the 6th person. Who knows? But, sooner or later, they're going to have to get in the ring. They're going to have to wrestle. Just like The Fiend, when Bray Wyatt did it, he got in the ring and wrestled. He did these unorthodox things and all that. You're going to see a lot of that now. Where's the storyline go? We got the debut last week. Now we have the fallout. And what's going to happen? Chad Gable's been the only one identified as someone who's been victimized by the Wyatt 6 last week. So, and he's got he was thrown out of the Money in the Bank match. Now he's back in the Money in the Bank match qualifier. Breaking news with GM Adam Pearce over the weekend during SmackDown of all things too. But now he's back in the match. So are we going to see a little bit more Uncle Howdy tonight earlier than 11 o'clock at night?
Who knows? Yeah. And certainly you have a 3-hour TV show. You have to make things interesting here, so it's certainly a lot going on. I know this is a very WWE heavy show. We do have the AEW Forbidden Door show this weekend, but we just have so much WWE news to cover on a Monday. This is just the way it rolls. Yeah, there's the way it rolls here, guys. All right. Yeah. So
Drew McIntyre will appear tonight. I got that.
Yeah, and that's fresh off him beating up CM Punk. Yeah, and he got treated like a real villain. And he said he quit WWE on Monday and then attacked CM Punk on a Friday in his hometown. And this has to be. There's a SummerSlam main event that's in the work that isn't this match, but we're getting Drew versus Punk at SummerSlam,
definitely,
right?
Definitely have to capitalize on that. I don't see this happening at Money in the Bank. There might be some. Well, first of all, let's not forget CM Punk is not technically cleared just yet. If you saw, you were there. Paul Heyman, well, actually, you weren't there because you were stuck on the L. Paul Heyman was in the ring doing his little skit there with CM Punk, and he says, I know you'll be cleared at any day now. So I think this injury angle and all this stuff with Drew McIntyre is to give CM Punk that leverage to get healthier and maybe get back into swinging things. I don't think you'll see anything like this at Money in the Bank, but you will see them headline something in SummerSlam. So no doubt about that.
All right, keep the comments coming up here. We will address that big news that broke just about a few hours ago, about 2 hours ago with Triple H and Pat McAfee today. Yeah. But obviously they're in Indianapolis. Raw is in Indianapolis. Pat McAfee, ESPN. He's the big color commentator for Monday at Raw, and he's had a lot of WWE people on. Now earlier today they made a massive announcement. And this is a sign of how different the WWE business model is and has evolved over time. It was going in this direction, especially when they signed the deal with Saudi Arabia for so much money. And that was done directly with a government entity or a government business entity, like they've done with other things now. And in the past few years, you've seen this. There's so much money for these premium live events. It's one of WWE's biggest things to sell is now have the rights pitched for from the cities. Yeah. They got money from France to go and do the show there. They got money from the tourism board in Australia to go and do their show there. They got money from different areas. They get tax breaks or lucrative business agreements that make a show at this scale highly, highly lucrative for them to pull off. Sure. And then they have to deliver it, and they draw fans in as a destination show, almost like rock festivals. Not just like we're touring and we're making, we're playing every arena in town. Now we're going to make an epic festival that you have to come and travel to and spend 3 days in. So what do you do when you spend 3 days in a town, Joe?
What do? You're
going to restaurants, you're going to hotels, you're getting lifts, you're getting taxis.
I was going to say SmackDown, Raw, NXT, but okay, that's just the wrestling mind in me. But
I'm thinking the mind. I'm following the money, baby. I'm following the money.
It's an economic boom for any town, any city.
Yes, but the play today The play that has been made by WWE and a group called Indiana Sports Corp, which is a business collective. I don't know exactly if I would describe a government entity, but they've had governments come in with government money to bring in WWE, which is crazy. Lucas Oil Stadium, that's the home of the Indianapolis Colts in the NFL, just hosted the U.S. swimming Olympic trials. They built a pool inside a football stadium.
I can't believe that. That is amazing. Yeah. That is amazing.
And it did apparently good business, but it's definitely like a play by Indianapolis to bring in non-football events to fill out the calendar year at this downtown stadium. Indianapolis is not a big city. It's not a large city. Cleveland is hosting WrestleMania. It's a city of less than 1 million people. So you have these small cities now making lucrative offers to WWE to bring through a government group or a business collective to bring these events with the tax revenue to their cities. Cleveland did it. SummerSlam's there. There's a SummerSlam next year. It's going to be 2 nights. All right. Yep. So they more money, more stadiums. So what is the play? Indiana is going to get they're going to get the Royal Rumble in January of 2025. Actually, excuse me, February. It's going to be
February 1st. February 1st. The Rumble's late this year. It's late.
It's just about there, right? Isn't it the window? But they're also, I think they always try to land now. I believe it's a Saturday. Am I correct?
I do believe so. Yeah, because it's a week before the Super Bowl this year is in Louisiana, February 9th.
And they always want to hit that window now. Yeah, they don't want to conflict with the playoff football, which is smart. You know, you want to own the night that you're on and become the trending topic. You know, and the Saturday play was smart by Nick Khan and WWE. This is another one because you're getting Royal Rumble, but they're also getting a future 2-night SummerSlam and a future 2-night WrestleMania.
That's huge. That's huge.
I would literally say that number is around $1 billion worth of taxable revenue for the city of Indianapolis.
Kevin, I got to ask, is that the Caitlin Clark effect? We're talking Indiana.
You got to think they're doing something. I know Caitlin Clark's a very popular figure. She's probably one of the most popular talked about athletes in America right now. Chicago Sky just put a whooping on her in the Fever the other night, though.
It was a 1-point game yesterday. Come on.
I know. I'm teasing. But what do you think of this business model? It shows WWE's just on a stride. And I don't want this to seem like, oh, we're all pro rah WWE. But that's a lot of money. If you're doing at least, I think they do in the neighborhood of probably between $175 to $200 million in terms of money that they bring to the area.
They do. It's
for
huge.
Each one of those weekends.
Yep.
Right?
Big money.
Now you have 3 of them, at least in the next 4 or 5 years.
Yeah, but don't forget the criteria for the WWE to go to these cities now. There's a certain threshold that the city has to meet. They have to guarantee the lodging, the restaurants, the capacity, and all that. So the
venues,
right? The venues. So it's not, you're not going to be going to these obscure outside of the, type arenas or whatever, Superdomes or whatever. You're going to see big cities now hosting these multi-weekend events.
I was just surprised with Indianapolis. Well,
they've deserved it for a long time. They've
hosted a WrestleMania before. They've hosted a WrestleMania before.
A while ago, right? It was a while ago.
But WrestleMania 8. They did WrestleMania 8. Yeah.
So I mean, they've what's Indianapolis had been going on since Andrew Luck. I don't know who else. I would say Peyton Manning, but that was years ago. But they deserve it. I think with the Caitlin Clark thing going on, I believe there's going to be some crossover there.
They're going to try. They're going to try some. They're going to back the Brinks truck up to her house to see what they can get.
And I don't think the season's underway. Then I think it's all over by then. So she'll be available for appearances and all that stuff. I just think it's very good for the city of Indiana. But now, like you said, this is the new WWE, whether you call it the Triple H era and so forth. Not, it says the Royal Rumble, February 1st, Lucas Oil Stadium, but they don't give you the dates or the years for the 2-night Mania and SummerSlams. It's
the fact that they're getting they're saying publicly like these are going to happen in the city in the future. That's wild to me. That's a real we're really going to push the needle on other cities to pitch for this.
And make how to do business with the WWE now. This is what they're going to do. So if people now all the other cities are looking at this going, okay, what do we need to do now? So we're going to have like the Houston Tourism Board or whatever. What's the Indiana Sports Corps? They actually kind of dropped a little hint last week on social media that they had a big announcement to take place. So the cat wasn't out of the bag, so to speak, then, but you knew something big was coming up for Indiana. So good for them.
Shout out Andrew Rio, say, hey, I'm a big WWE fan. Shout out from the Philippines. My name is DJ Rio. Thank you, DJ. Thank you for watching, man. I know there's a lot of people that listen to the podcast, audio podcast in the Philippines. So
That's
thank
awesome.
You for that.
Thanks for joining.
And appreciate it here. Want to hear from more fans about what's going on here and how these different things. I will address that WrestleMania 41 rumor. I know someone posted it about 9 times. I will get to it. Other people with different takes here on all the different things. Some people, here's one, Jacob Fatu. Best debut of the Samoans.
Let's cap on that real quick. Is it the best debut of any wrestler in the WWE or all of wrestling? Do you think? I mean,
probably one of the best debuts in recent memory.
Probably because it was very, very unexpected. I don't think,
and it was, and he beat up on the guy. You know, he beat up on the top guy right away, and wrecked Randy Orton and Kevin Owens in the same sequence. And they
must have hit him in the trailer or something like that, because there was no word whatsoever that Jacob Fatu was anywhere near that arena come when they went live to SmackDown. So, I mean, it was a great kept secret, beautiful secret. Gotta love it.
Mm-hmm. A lot of people with different takes about everything going on. Keep the comments up, guys. I want to hear your take, especially about WrestleMania in a different area here. I want to hear from you guys here. WrestleMania. Getting your the comments and just different views on this. Is this something that makes you think no one's ever catching up with them? To me, whenever I see something like this, I'm like, that's $1 billion right there. That's $1 billion over those 3 separate weekends. You know, that's $1 billion. The GDP, the gross domestic product of the city of Indianapolis and the capital county, is around $120 billion, $120.8 billion in 2022. This would be $1 billion by itself.
No kidding. Yeah, it's huge. Like I said, the new blueprint for wanting to host these venues for Mania, SummerSlam, all that. This is
also, I just think it's going to go to it's going to go to smaller cities too. There's going to be cities that all right, if you can do a tax deal like that, we're going to do a tax deal like that. And we were talking about major cities like New York, Chicago, LA. Chicago has a lot of wrestling shows. I don't think that's going to go away, but the fact that they're getting a WrestleMania, they're getting a marquee event, that's going to bring a lot of people that have never been in Indianapolis to Indianapolis.
We all love numbers and all that stuff. Triple H, after his, the post media scrums, he's always talking about numbers. Let's not forget, this isn't just the Rumble, SummerSlam, and Mania. This is the Raws, the SmackDowns, the NXTs, everything else.
And all the independents that go there too.
Yeah, I know. And the independents piggyback, the Comic Cons, all the WrestleCons and everything. This is a boom. This is going to be a huge boom. And this is going to be the new way of doing business now. They've seen it. They know it now. This is what's going to happen. So this is, unless you have that type of money, because I do believe now you have to put up money to get this, right? Mm-hmm. Don't you have to submit some type of, I don't know what the word is, that type of expenditure?
Oh, no. Yeah, there's pitches and stuff like this.
Yeah,
people are pitching for this no different than they would Final Four games and Super Bowls and stuff.
I'd like to do a little research on who the Indiana Sports Corps is, because this might be the new face of dealing with WWE. They won't talk to you unless you have something like this calling us to let us know. We need facts, figures, numbers, all that stuff. So it's no longer throwing a dart at a board. Where we going to WrestleMania next year? Let's throw a dart and see where we land. So that ain't like that anymore. Nope.
Spinning off this, Nick Fund, who's always supporting the channel. Thank you so much, Nick. He goes, do you think Royal Rumble will go to 2 nights? Well, it's odd because we heard recently next year's SummerSlam we'll expand to 2 nights.
Right.
They said in this announcement there will be a 2-night SummerSlam in Indianapolis and WrestleMania, which is a 2-night WrestleMania from now on. It appears. I don't think they're going to backplay that or change that. The status of Royal Rumble though is up in the air. I don't know.
That's a tough.
I don't know if Royal Rumble would work if you cut it up against 2 different nights. Now, obviously, enough people say if you can sell enough tickets and you get enough people in there, go ahead and do it.
Definitely depends on the venue. You could do women Saturday night, men Sunday night. That might be a possibility.
Would one ticket be more popular than the other? And I'm not saying that to disparage one or the other. I'm just saying you're going to have people that are going to pick with their money, and you're going to. And then is it going to be all right? We got to push the 2-night mod. You have to buy tickets for 2 nights. And all right, we're already in town. We'll spend another $400. So
change that. I think the big 4. What's it? Mania. Survivor Series, Rumble, Mania, SummerSlam, the big 4, whatever. They're all going to go to 2 nights. I mean, we're halfway there now. It's just a matter of time. This could be an experiment for all we know to see how it works out. But WrestleMania has been a huge success, even though it's a long weekend for us podcasters because you're on the air Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday.
Hey, I'm in Chicago. Maybe you're in Iowa. It's a day drive for you, right? But like I could get on a bus. Yeah. I believe there's a train that goes to Indianapolis, which to me is even better because that's
you go right there.
That's a couple of beers on the way. You know what I mean? So like I even love that even better.
Yeah, but Minneapolis has what, SummerSlam next year? That's 2 nights.
That's the first 2 night SummerSlam they're going to do.
That's like one highway over. It goes straight up for like 7 hours. That takes you right to Minneapolis, believe it or not. So it's pretty neat. It's different world around here in the Midwest.
So obviously some interesting stuff though from Triple H appearing on Pat McAfee today, because obviously if you're doing Raw there, Indianapolis, Pat McAfee, big ambassador for it. He was a part of the announcement. And then Triple H dropped this, getting back into the storylines, Wyatt 6. What was this line he dropped out of nowhere about Bloodline versus Wyatt 6?
Yeah, he goes, that would be one thing to see is the Bloodline go at it with Uncle Howdy and the Wyatt 6. And like McAfee looked at him like, what? Like, is that a tease?
It's the head of creative. It's the head of long-term booking and everything in WWE who just literally he didn't drop a blood, like a drop of blood in the shark pool. He took a bucket of chum and threw it in there, you know?
It's in there. It's in our minds now. It's in our minds now. So we're stuck with it. I think it'll happen. No, not now. I mean,
War Games, November?
That could be something like that. I mean, but the other question I wanted to get back to real quick, I don't mean to sidetrack though, is with Jacob Fatu's debut, does this rush Roman Reigns back? Does this get him back quicker?
We have a lot of people asking in the comments, and I wanted to address that.
That's what I was wondering, because you're gonna have to run the bloodline. Which bloodline's taking on who? So you're gonna have the Roman Reigns good bloodline taking on the Jacob Fatu Solo Sikoa bad.
And then how do you do the Wyatt 6 thing in the middle of that? You know?
Yeah. So we get. I mean, creatively. I can't say that word all of a sudden. Creatively, is that a word? Creativity wise.
Creatively.
There you go. That's my debut. I'm sorry.
Your Boston's coming out there, kid. Larry, you're getting wild on me there, kid.
I'm still hungover from the Duck Boat Parade, so leave me alone. 18 champions, yeah, that's right. 18 world titles. NBA record, by the way. Anyways, I don't even know what I was saying. Okay, the WWE now is at such, and I said this before on tons of podcasts. I write a weekly column for Bill Apter Sportskeeda newsletter. Creatively, like you got me messing. It's in my head now. Creative wise, the WWE is endless right now. What they can write and what they can do right now. This is a luxury they didn't have years ago. We have always centered around a world champion or a universal champion or whatever and all that stuff. Now we have so many sidebars. And this is what's making Raw and SmackDown and even NXT great again, is you have all these sidebars going on. And it's fantastic. I love it. It's a great time to be a pro wrestling fan, because right now, I bet you if we did this podcast tomorrow, we could do a whole show on what the hell happened on Raw tonight, because I think a lot more is going to happen, because now they're upping the bar a little bit. And don't forget, they got to go to Netflix next year too. So, who knows? I think there's a lot happening with WWE.
We could do an entire show about what's going to change with Netflix. I saw some rumors. There was a screenshot of what people think the rules or the arrangement. None of that is confirmed by WWE. So I'm going to wait to talk.
Doesn't know what they're doing yet either.
Yeah.
They're not doing anything.
They were I'll say this, during the interstitials and commercials in Chicago, they just put stuff on the screen. They were really pushing Netflix. They're really pushing Netflix.
Yeah, everyone's gonna be drawn over to Netflix come next. Which is the first of the year? They got the extension from SmackDown's going to USA in October. October 1, CW gets NXT, and then Raw's going to Netflix. So, are they going to be commercials? Is it going to be PG-13, whatever, blah blah blah? Just like Peacock, whatever subscription you have, you're not going to get commercials per se, but you're going to get WWE commercials instead of regular commercials.
You'll get video packages. I expect, I think a lot of the reasons why Netflix was comfortable bringing it on, because you have tiers, right? So Raw's going to move there January 1st, New Year's Day, big day to move there, right?
Yeah.
And the idea that you go there is, there's some people that pay for an ad tier. You get commercials like you would on any other TV thing when you're watching it live.
Yeah.
Now, when they would cut and they have premium subscribers, people already pay, but they pay it at more money, so they don't have ads. They would get video packages, or maybe they get a match. Maybe the match doesn't end for them. We'll be right back for our premium subscribers. The action doesn't end for you.
Yeah,
that's a big way to get people to pay more money, dude. If you say the match doesn't end for you,
One of the bigger questions: do they stay at 3 hours or 2?
That was another thing that, once again, I don't want to put more fire and gasoline behind this screenshot that was going out. There was a report, but I cannot find anyone that was reputable that would get behind it here. And so it's very interesting to me how this is playing out, because if they want it, the report is the show would go from 3 hours to 2 hours.
Right.
So that's odd, that you would do that when Netflix's entire model is built on watch time. If you watch more, you are less likely to do the churn thing where you subscribe for a little bit and you drop it. Oh, I'm getting HBO Max. The new Game of Thrones show is on there, right? I have HBO Max. My roommate was going to get it, and I was like, no, don't do that. Here's the amount of passwords I can share. All those different things you have to deal with, right? Well, if you tell me there's a 3-hour TV show every week, at least 3 hours that I'm going to watch, I'm going to keep it. I know a lot of people, they have Peacock only to watch WWE, only to watch WWE. So, yeah.
And the thing with Netflix, too, is they're still experimenting with these live streams. I think the Tom Brady roast was like their first real live.
A very successful one, too.
Very successful. Very entertaining. I mean, too bad they had to edit it when they showed the replay. But if you watch it live.
They cut out the Kim Kardashian stuff.
I'm sure they did. They cut out a whole bunch of stuff. I mean, you could have cut that whole thing out. But nonetheless, some of the jokes I'm still trying to figure out today.
I'm a comic. I appreciated it.
Their second best thing was the Tyson Jake Paul fight. Now that's been
which hasn't happened yet.
Hasn't happened yet. And I do believe they were going to do a special tennis match, but I think that got delayed or something. So they're still
there was some issue with that. Yeah.
And then you know what Netflix says? The corporate executives, they say, "Oh, we have a year to figure it out." Well, guess what? Your year is almost over, bro. It's almost July, and you're going to Netflix in a few months. So you need to figure this stuff out quick. Hopefully they will. I'm sure they will. But so many questions are in the air for fans, viewers, etc. I mean, if they're going to, the core fans will go to Netflix no matter what. It's always that very important. Can you grab that fan's attention and get them over to Netflix to watch WWE products? So, that's going to be the big move for Netflix.
Transition. Can I grab your attention to play the most new, exciting game in wrestling trivia? Joe Laurie?
That's right.
This is BrainBuster. I want to show this off to some people.
Can I read the bio for it? I want to read the bio. Can I read the bio for it?
You want to read the bio for it?
I'm going to read it in my radio voice. Ready? Unleash your inner champion.
I'm going to zoom it in for you. I'm going to zoom it in for you so you can read it. Okay. Go. Joe, hit it. Here we go. 3, 2, 1, go.
Unleash your inner champion with BrainBuster, the electrifying WWE player guessing game. Test your knowledge of wrestling legends and rising stars as you navigate through rounds of intense competition. From iconic figures to new contenders, every match brings new excitement. Kevin, back to you.
What a professional broadcaster. You restrained from using your regional accent.
I'm parking my car here. I'm going to play a game.
I'm parking my car over here. Don't worry. I'll go into Chicago, start saying yes, gunners and dares. So I help my
Blackhawks games. I love those accents.
There we go. But Bruins and Hawks, one of the best Stanley Cups of all time, man. Right. Even if we lost it, I would have been happy with it. So go Oilers, by the way. Old school teams.
Yeah, that's tonight too. Jeez.
So, what a crazy night. So, the Ross going to have a tough time up against that Stanley Cup. I wonder if that affects them.
Yeah, I don't know.
So the way the game works here is pretty simple. You're going to punch in names. So, you can see these blue areas, the area where it's green right there. So, you see, type in Roman Reigns. You find out he's on SmackDown. No, he's not in the Hall of Fame. Of course, male gender, his height, all these different things. So you want to try and see the green part. You're trying to find more people that are male superstars, and yellow to guess who the superstar of the day is, to find out who that mystery player is right there. So you can play along with this. It's very, very fun. So let's type in a name. Let's see. There's a male wrestler, so we eliminate the women. Let's see if it's Undertaker. We want to type in Undertaker. Let's see what Undertaker is. Will Undertaker be it? All right, so we're closer. Okay, so we're not close here with the height. So the guy is probably he's within 2 inches of 6'3". So we're looking for someone who's like 6'4" or 6 foot.
I feel like I'm playing Tetris. I get 3 up, 3 down, and 1
All right. So what's another name that we want to type in here then to try and get close to it?
Let's it's going to be 6'4". Oh man, Hulk Hogan. Type in Hulk Hogan.
Let's see Hulk Hogan. All right, the Hulkster brother.
Band.
All right. We didn't get close enough. So now we're at 4. We have 4 more shots here to try and get it. Let's see, 6 foot guy, maybe Triple H.
Is he? Yeah.
Is that what are they in the Hall of Fame? I'm going to see if they're in the Hall of Fame. Oh no, they got to be in the Hall of Fame. So it has to be a Hall of Famer.
Yeah, okay. Triple H is in with them guys.
Oh, see, No Hall of Fame. Well, he's in the Hall of Fame.
There he is. He's in with DX.
He's in twice. Who worked on this?
We have a glitch in the system.
So it's not. Oh,
look at the drop downs already. Golden Greek Jim Londos. Look at that. Huh?
That's a deep cut. That's a deep cut, dude. I just cut a Sportskeeda Wrestling, our YouTube channel. I just cut a great video about the history of screw jobs in wrestling.
Oh, wow, nice.
And Jim Londos was involved in one. Everyone just thinks it's Montreal 97. There's so many more. And we just did a great deep dive. I love those history videos, especially for younger fans and maybe even me. The wrestling that came before my wrestling. I want to know so much more about that. I think that's
the 97 screw job was Vince McMahon was afraid that he was taking the title over to WCW and going to do the same thing Medusa did on Nitro 3 years.
Oh, we cover that.
Oh,
Medusa's in there. How Medusa screwing WWE influenced this decision. Yes.
Killed WCW. Medusa did.
We got 2 more guesses. Let's see if we can get it. Let's say Bret Hart.
Let's try Bret Hart. Yeah.
Oh, okay. So we're back to 3. We got to figure out this too. Like the 6 foot. All right, around there. He's below 54 years old, so he's younger than that.
So Attitude Era. Think of Attitude Era.
Okay.
Road Dogg, Jesse James. He's in the Hall.
He's in the Hall.
Who else are we think about? Gold Dust. He's tall. He's not.
Yeah, he is tall. He's right at 6'4". So we gotta have somebody who's 6'4" though too.
Goldberg pops up.
Oh, let's try Goldberg. Is he 6'4"?
Oh, there you go.
See? All right. Now we got how many more shots do I have? I think I have one more shot. He threatened to kill. See, you get. Oh, this is cool. Look at that.
What did
he threatened to kill Shawn Michaels and the Click backstage.
Ooh, Rick Rude? No. Who was that? The Click. Razor Ramon? Kevin Nash?
No, but he was in the Click.
Oh, yeah, that's right. The Click was Michaels, Nash, Hall, Triple H.
Yeah, who could this be?
So he threatened to kill Shawn Michaels and the Click.
See, I love the clues that they help you lead you along.
You could have just said the Click and that would have been it. You had to throw Shawn Michaels, Stone Cold Steve Austin? No.
Who would it be?
Wow, this is like way too intense.
Oh, I keep working my brain. Are we done? Monday. Do we have any more guesses, or do I have guess 8 of 8? I have one more guess. Don't I have one more guess? Let me hear. I did 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
Goldberg. Do I dare say Ric Flair?
No, Ric Flair wouldn't kill Shawn Michaels. He loves him.
I'm sorry. I love you. Sweet chin music. Come on.
Who would that be? Oh,
I don't know.
Well, we already mentioned The Undertaker.
Anybody in the chat? Someone said Mark Henry.
Mark Henry?
You could try his Hall of Famer.
Is he that big?
He's a big guy. I know that. Somebody said Mark. Somebody said Razor, but I don't think it was Razor. He's part of the Click.
Yeah. Congratulations, you got it right.
Was it right? Oh my God, Shawn Mills.
It was absolutely him. Wow, dude! Thank you so much for giving it that in the chat. We should play this again next week. This is fun.
Shawn Mills chimed that in. 229. Shawn Mills. Mark Henry guessed it. Nice job.
All right, guys. So I'm gonna drop the link for you guys to play this. Please play it and send me screenshots of it and all that good stuff. So I'm going to drop for you guys in the link. I'm going to go over the comments here.
Okay, not for nothing. My brain is fried after playing this thing. Oh,
your brain is busted.
Oh, God. Eggs are bad for you in the 80s, right? I get it.
All right, so play BrainBuster. That's up right now at Sportskeeda Wrestling. I'm Kev Kellum. You can follow me on the Instagram at KevKellum6, on the Twitter at Kev Kellum, all those good things. Follow me on those things.
Generally follow you. Joe, you got to follow me back.
I do have to follow you back. I have to do my internet due diligence. Joe, where do they follow you though? If I have to follow you, where do they go?
Go to Instagram and YouTube. It's Ringside with What a Day, Joe Lowry. Ringside, you'll pop right up. And my measly little Facebook that I'm hardly ever on anymore is What a Day with Joe Lowry. But you can find me Ringside with What a Day, Joe Lowry. I did put a link in there as well. You guys can check it out. I upload shorts daily. Funny shorts. A lot of them are getting some big hits. 25,000 views, 10,000 views. They're not doing bad. Good stuff. You're muted. I think you're muted.
I had a mic issue. Can you hear me now?
I can hear you now.
Oh, good. I didn't know why it mic'd. I really appreciate it. If you guys can do a favor, here, I'll answer this before we sign off. If the rumor is John Cena has his final match at WrestleMania 41, who do you think you want him to face? Wow, that's a big question.
That is a huge. Who would you want his opponent to be?
But I don't want to miss that question. It's a good one.
Well, here's the thing with matches like that. Aren't they usually passing of the torch matches? right? I'm
Braun Breaker.
That's the first person that comes to mind. But are they going to hold him off that long? I see Braun Breaker doing some of the Money in the Bank. I don't know.
No, but I mean, just building up for next year's WrestleMania, but you don't want to put a title on
it. Would have to be somebody the future of wrestling. I would seriously consider Braun Breaker passing of the torch type match.
There's some guys in NXT.
That's if they're going to.
Mind you, that's April. There's
Yeah.
some guys in NXT I could see in that position as well. Obafemi is an incredible looking guy.
Late April. Vegas is late this year. WrestleMania. It's like
it's going to be an Easter weekend too, which is crazy.
Taboo. My God.
All right. It's taboo in some households as well. Go play BrainBuster. It's at sportskeedawrestling.com. Sportskeeda.com /WWE. Go check that out. And follow Joe. Follow Sportskeeda on all the different things. If you're on the podcast side of things and you listen to us play a video game, thank you so much. You can also give us 5 stars on those apps. A whole lot of content over as well on the WrestleBinge YouTube channels. We have 2 different YouTube channels popping off, a lot of different content. Thank you guys for supporting everything we do. Remember, when watching wrestling, please do the most important thing, which is just take a breath and don't get angry that your fantasy booking wasn't fulfilled by $1 billion company, and calm down and just enjoy wrestling. I'm going to be on Q101 in about a half an hour. Go listen to that. Q101.com. Bye.
Bye. What a day, folks. What a day.
What a day. What a day.